Welcome to Inside the Skev, and I'm your host, Aaron Masliansky.
Well, really one of the most rewarding and satisfying parts of the whole process is actually the end when you're done working on it and places cease to be construction sites and instead they become homes and businesses and restaurants. And once you see a space that you worked on building being filled up by people who had absolutely nothing to do with that whole process, it's a really surreal and interesting feeling. It's a great feeling of ownership and getting to build out the spaces where people live their lives it's really gratifying work.
Today we're here with Jacob Shapiro, who's the owner of Vero Design Build in Chicago. Jacob's a lifelong Evanston and now Skevanston resident and has some great stories and things to share with us today. So without further ado, we've got Jacob.
Hey, Aaron, good evening.
Good evening.
It's a pleasure to be on your show.
Well, thanks so much for coming. This is the big hit show now that everyone needs to subscribe to.
That's what I hear.
Anywhere where you listen to podcasts, so please do. So, Jacob, we know each other for, 30 years, I think?
30 years. I think that's right.
All the way back to Apache Day Camp.
Camp Apache.
Yes. Good times. And then we lived not too far from each other in Roscoe Village.
That's right. Turns out we did for a very long time.
Yes. And then I sold you a lemon of a house in Skevanston.
And I'll never let you forget that.
That's right. And, I think you are the quintessential Skevanstonite. And, you've got a lot of ties to the area. Evanston also. So tell us about that.
Well, my family's been living in Evanston, my mom's family, since the 1950s. It's a fantastic place to be. It's a fantastic place to be from, and that's what there is to say about it.
Yeah. What brought your family to Evanston?
I don't know the answer to that, but I think it's a good choice that they certainly came there.
Yeah. And your grandfather also was in the real estate business in Evanston, right?
My grandfather was in the real estate business there for a very long time. His name was Sam Sherwin. He was the owner of Sherwin Realty, and he bought and sold all kinds of buildings all over Evanston, helped a lot of people find houses.
Yeah, it sounds like a real mensch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, very good background to have. And you met your wife in Evanston as well, didn't you?
I did meet my wife in Evanston. My wife also goes way, way back in Evanston. Her family had been there for a very long time as well. And our families go way back together. So we were introduced well before we ever met.
As children?
Yeah.
Was it an arranged marriage?
It was pretty close to an arranged marriage in one perspective.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Your family's very right-wing, I take it.
Through and through.
Through and through. I understand. So you are a local entrepreneur. You are like the Jewish carpenter, right?
I am the Jewish carpenter.
Yeah. How'd you get into being the Jewish carpenter?
Well, I just kind of fell into it, actually. Back in college, I thought I really wanted to grow up to be an architect, but I thought that it was important to know how buildings are put together if you're going to be an architect, so I thought I might try out doing a little bit of construction work. And it turns out I really like doing construction, and what's not to like, really? It's fun, it's challenging, it's dynamic, and every day is a different adventure, and I ended up just kind of falling into it through there once I decided that I liked architecture work and I understood it, but I just didn't really want to sit in a chair all day, every day. Then it seemed like an easy and obvious choice to sign myself up for hanging out on construction sites.
Sounds pretty cool. So you like getting your hands dirty?
I do.
Yeah. Well, as part of that you get to be a part of and see the final product where you get that type of satisfaction?
Well, really one of the most rewarding and satisfying parts of the whole process is actually the end when you're done working on it and places cease to be construction sites and instead they become homes and businesses and restaurants. And once you see a space that you worked on building being filled up by people who had absolutely nothing to do with that whole process, it's a really surreal and interesting feeling. It's a great feeling of ownership and getting to build out the spaces where people live their lives it's really gratifying work.
Yeah, that is cool. I used to do that myself too and worked on condos. So, it was interesting. It was very cool to see people make it their homes.
For sure.
And what's the name of your company?
My company is called Vero Design Build, LLC.
And where are you guys based out of?
Our primary offices are in Chicago's West Loop neighborhood, located at 401 North Wood Street.
Close to the train and United Center.
Yep.
Very cool. Yeah, it's a beautiful space. And what types of clients, what types of jobs do you typically do? What's your mainstay?
Our primary industry of interest is doing commercial work, and we function as a commercial general contractor with in-house shops doing fabrication of custom millwork and cabinetry and decorative steel. Our primary areas of interest are in hospitality, doing work in bars and restaurants and hotels.
That's pretty cool. So you're kind of like the general contractor and the subcontractor at the same time because you're self-performing some of these things and you're managing jobs, correct?
That's correct. We're very flexible and fluid in what our role can be on any particular job based on what it calls for.
Sure. And do you also do things where you do work on like residential projects at all?
We do some residential projects. We get into some pretty exciting work, but most of our work is on the commercial side.
So you've done some pretty interesting types of build outs. You did the publishing house, bed and breakfast. I was there with you. I did a little video, which was pretty cool when you guys were building that out, and that turned out to be a beautiful space.
Yeah, publishing house was such a great project to work on. It was converting a gutted out old factory building in the West Loop. It used to be a publishing house, and we took that building all the way out to the brick and then essentially rebuilt out the entire interior.
What was like the most challenging part of that job?
The most challenging part of that job was probably the time we had to pick up an entire prefabricated staircase outside and fly it through a third-story window.
How the hell do you do that?
With a really big crane.
God, that's pretty crazy. Were you there for that day?
I was not there for that day.
Too scared to see it happen?
I stayed as far away as possible.
Good call. Yeah. Was that your favorite project to work on, or is there something that you'd say it was like your tops?
Oh, man, they're all great. They're all great for different reasons. I love them all equally. Isn't that what we're supposed to say?
Right. Which one's been your biggest failure?
They're going to have to hold my beer.
Okay. Very cool. What's like your coolest project that you're working on right now?
My coolest project that I'm working on right now is also the one that's closest to home. We currently have the pleasure of being the finish subcontractor for the lobby renovations at the Park Evanston, which is downtown on Chicago Avenue.
Right by the Whole Foods over there?
Right next door to the Whole Foods. And the design team and the owners have done a pretty neat reconcepting of all of the public spaces on the first floor, bringing in a really interesting finishes package.
Well, that's great because that building it's a great building, but I know that they haven't updated in a little while, so that'll be interesting to see. That's very cool.
Yeah.
And your business, it's not just you. You have a partner, right?
Yeah, my partner is is a hardworking fellow for whom I have a lot of respect named Joshua Veselski. We've been friends for about 7 years. Can't believe it's been this long, and we've been business partners for about 5. Yeah. I'm happy to have him and the opportunity to work together.
Yeah. So you like having a business partner?
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, you had your own business prior to this. What would you say is like the biggest advantage of having a partner?
Well, the biggest advantage of having a partner is anybody who runs a business knows that it's just impossible to be working in your business and on your business at the same time. And it seems like to be successful as an entrepreneur, that's really what one needs to figure out how to do. So being able to have 2 people in place sort of working on both of those things simultaneously as much as possible just makes it a lot easier to grow a business and move forwards much quicker.
Do you guys ever have disagreements that you got to work through?
Oh, probably on a daily basis.
Yeah. And do you think that leads you to a better decision because you have somebody to talk it out with?
I think for hard decisions that warrant rigorous debate and thinking hard over, it's much better to have someone to have that conversation with instead of just wringing my hands in anxiety by myself.
True. Well, you could just drink.
That's one way.
That always solves problems.
That's one way to pin down strategy.
Yeah, this is inside the Skev. We're getting in deep inside now. So, you have a long day in the city or wherever you're working. You come home to Skevanston. Mm-hmm. What makes that home for you? Why'd you choose this area?
Well, I chose this area strategically because it was about 6 blocks away from my parents' house, and we ended up where we ended up because some really good friends of ours live in the house next door. And when we were considering moving out from Roscoe Village, we were deciding between either moving to Lakeview or heading up to about the Skev. And Lakeview was just never really going to be an option.
Yeah.
So we had some friends living there. The house next door was for sale. Turns out the guy who was listing that house for sale was you.
Yeah.
From there, it just kind of seemed like a foregone conclusion, frankly. Why wouldn't somebody move up here?
That's right. Well, as you like to say, what is this place?
Skevanston is a place to be.
That's right. It is a place to be, ladies and gentlemen. So, I'm sure there's a lot of people here in Skevanston or anywhere where they're listening who have businesses or have houses and they need to do, renovations or need to do build outs, whatever it may be. Where can you be found online where they can see you?
You can find us online by checking out our website at verollc.com.
And also, are you on any social media platforms?
We're around on Facebook sometimes. We're around on the Instagram sometimes. You can certainly find us there as well.
Very nice. Okay, everyone, please go ahead and like Vero Design Build. So, we know a little bit about you now. We know about your business. What would you say is like your dream job to be hired on one day?
My dream job to be hired on one day. Wow. I never really thought about that before, Aaron. That's a great question.
Thank you.
Let me think about that, and I'm going to come back to that one.
Okay. So, the two of us have talked about, what type of development opportunities are out there, in this great Skevanston or Skokie or Evanston. What are some things that you could see would totally change the area for the better? What would you do? What type of major big project would you think would be cool for this place?
I don't know about the rest of this place, but I know that I would sure love to have somewhere that I could buy a cup of coffee within easy walking distance from my house.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Could have a Skevanston coffee bar.
We could have a Skevanston coffee bar.
That would be very nice. Maybe one day that will happen.
Maybe one day we will figure out the parking count.
Exactly.
Once we crack that code, then
Yeah.
development galore.
Anyone listening, if you have the code, please provide it to us. Or if you think of a cool place that would be a good space for, our community to like get together, to have a coffee shop, but that would be something fun. And, one thing I want to put out there is that, I've been thinking about different ideas of people to interview. This has just started. But I think that this is a really cool thing for our community, for Skevanston or Skokie or Evanston too. And I want to go out and meet people in the owners in some of these places in the strip centers. So let's say if you're listening to this and you have a business at Church in East Prairie, hit me up. I'd love to talk to you. So I'm going to be reaching out to you guys because I think this will be really a cool thing for us. So what do you think about that, Jacob?
I think it sounds like a great idea. I think there are so many amazing things going on right on our doorstep. And I think that really looking forward to seeing what all that is.
Sounds good. And to get back to your perfect job, what do you think that would
I think probably I'd like to build a school someday. I think I'd like to design, build an education center.
Really? Mm-hmm. Why is that?
Because I think that it does a lot of things. I think that building places of education and thinking about how you can use design and execution of building that to be part of the education itself sounds really interesting and gratifying.
Have you ever done a job on an educational facility?
I've done bits and pieces of things in schools. I don't have a ton of experience in it, though, certainly not on the design side.
What type of professionals do you think you'd need to meet in order to be able to get into that space?
Well, I suppose teachers and school administrators would be a good place to start.
Are there certain architecture companies that specialize in that type of work more so?
Probably.
So, well, that would be very cool. That would be very cool to do a school space. And, you could look at the design or how things were built for these older schools as compared to the new ones. And, where I went to school for high school, I went to Ida Crown, and it was in West Rogers Park. And it was a building built, I think, in the 1960s. And they recently moved to Skokie a few years ago. And it's they redid the whole building. It's a, beautiful space now. And I look at it, I'm like, oh my God, like I would have had a much better environment to learn in, to have a building that, is more conducive to that. So.
And I've had the opportunity to do a couple of knickknacks and doodads over there, a few nice projects working with the people at Ida Crown, and they've really done a great job with that building. I liked the old Ida Crown building, but the new one is, oh yeah, I thought it was awesome.
Why?
Because it was an awesome modernist, neo-brutalist education block.
Brutalist?
Yeah, with a nice courtyard in there.
A courtyard of gravel?
Yeah, what was in that courtyard anyways?
Oh my God. The courtyard was basically the roof to the gymnasium. Mm-hmm. And that was it. They never used it for anything. I remember as like a senior prank, one of the grades that was older than me, they somehow got into the building in the middle of the night, got onto the courtyard, set up tents, and camped out there for the night.
Yeah, there you go.
So there's a use.
Why didn't they ever put a sukkah up there?
Maybe they were worried about how much weight it could handle. I don't know. I mean, if it could handle a lot of snow, I could think it could handle a sukkah.
It could handle the weight of a sukkah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't know. I think that right there is a great example on why it would be so cool to work on a school project. That courtyard right there, I had a weird kind of strange relationship with Ida Crown because I didn't go there, and all of my Yahoo friends did. So at a couple points in high school, for whatever reason, I was there. I was there for the SATs or whatever. And
You took the SATs there?
Yeah, it was the only place to take them on Sunday.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Yes.
So I think that courtyard there was really cool, and it made that whole, like having that outside space there, I think made that school wing, as a designed school wing, that was pretty neat. We certainly didn't have a courtyard like that in the middle of the hallway at Evanston High School, though Evanston High School does have some beautiful courtyards.
Yeah, it's a very classic building.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did you also at Evanston have like shop classes where you were learning how to build things?
There were shop classes, and actually one of my greatest regrets in high school is that I didn't take any shop classes.
You didn't take any shop?
Not a single one.
What made you, were you into buildings back then?
I really wasn't into buildings back then, actually. Interestingly enough, construction and architecture was not something I really paid much mind to or thought about when I was a kid. I kind of just fell into that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think you were going to do before?
When I was a kid?
Yeah.
The only thing I knew was that I wasn't going to be a doctor.
No, I mean, you saw the examples in your family, and
It's a tough standard to live up to.
your father, if for anyone listening.
Yeah, they're all doctors.
Yeah, the whole family. Yeah, your in-laws.
Right.
Yeah, it's too much.
I'm a real letdown. Sorry, guys.
You're a real shame to the family.
Yeah, well, at least we wrote that one off with high school chemistry, sophomore year.
Oh, you had chemistry?
And wasn't into it, didn't do that well in it, certainly didn't see it pushing me towards a career in medicine.
No. I think the chemistry teacher I had left mid-year, and there's an interesting story to that. It's also deep inside the Skev.
Deep inside the Skev.
Yeah.
I remember you guys and your chemistry teacher.
Oh my God, we had a crazy chemistry teacher. Mm-hmm. It's insane. Mm-hmm. There's so many good stories in the Skev.
Yeah, there really, really are.
Yeah.
It is definitely a place to be.
It is. Let's see. I think we've got it. Mm-hmm. This is good stuff.
This is good stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening.
It's a pleasure. Thank you all for your time.
Yes. Next week we are going to be speaking with Jeff Shankerman, who is a financial planner, and he's going to tell you all about why you need to think about stuff like that. And it's great. He will talk about ways to protect your family, how to protect your future, retirement. And he's a local Skevanstonite. So thanks so much for listening, and have a good one. And thank you, Jacob, for being on Inside the Skev.
Thank you, Aaron. Love your show.
I'd like to thank several people for help with today's show. This includes my real estate brokerage, Dreamtown Realty in Evanston, for helping me with my graphics for the show, and Jacob Shapiro at Vero Design Build for being a guest on the show. His information can be found at verollc.com. I'd like to thank Industrious in Evanston for use of their space to record. Follow them on Instagram at Industrious Evanston. And if listening to this podcast gave you the bug to buy or sell real estate, give me a call or go to my real estate website at aaronmasliansky.com. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.